Well, it all slows down a little bit now because there are one or two now going to have to be very, very careful. Just to remind you that we've also got the women's 75 kilo class. If that could live up to last year's women's 75 kilo World Championship in Doha, then it would be a fine spectacle. That's probably the best women's World Weightlifting Championship I've ever seen. Zabolotnaya winning the championship from Liu Chunhong and Svetlana Podobedova of Russia, and all three of them setting world records. Unfortunately, none of the three are involved this evening. Nonetheless, it's pretty competitive. Back to the men's 85 and 198 on the bar for the second time of asking for Tigran Martirosyan. It's a bit more like it, but again, David, you know, costly. The first, you know, this is a night where those first lifts going in there are going to really help. 370, he's now ahead of Yershov by 3 kilos, and he's 5 kilos ahead of the younger Belarusian Straltsov. We're still Kalancia of Romania, Izze of Turkey, and Rybakov to start their lifting. Quite interesting to see where Straltsov is going to go, David, because I mean the first effort was 190, and that may well have been, oh sorry, the first effort was 195. So he's got to come in, I think, around the 200 mark for his next attempt.
So the Romanian in shot. Be interesting to see what kind of form he's on in the clean and jerk. As we know, he has come from behind before. Well, he posted 200 and he's starting on 200.
Well, this would put him to 362 and put him into the competition. So from here on it is really serious.
As convincing as we've seen him before.
Well, to be honest, David, very few are absolutely convincing, but he's got the job done. So 362 it is, his running total, and that goes some way to making up for only lifting 162 in the snatch phase. But is he capable of his very best, which would be 215, and can he do it in another 2 lifts? That's the big question. You're shaking your head as if you believe that the answer.
Absolutely not.
Now, Izze, Turkey. Now this would be 371, so this is for the outright lead. This is 171 carried forward from the snatch plus the 200, and then he'd still have 2 lifts in hand if he can pull this off. Well, this is altogether a little strange.
Well, perhaps the humidity is affecting these athletes.
Well, here's Rybakov. He's surely going to go for 200 as well.
Well, 200. This. I can't. If he does 200, I can't see anybody catching him. I really can't see anybody in this field that has looked impressive enough with any of their lifts to get anywhere near him, providing he succeeds with this, of course.
Well, he took through 206 in the European Championships, 195 last year. So is he 5 kilos better than last year?
Something to work. Now, come on. This is a fiver for me.
Oh, come on. You're going to give that? You're going to give that?
Strictly speaking, that was a press. That was a
press out.
Let's see. Good lift.
Oh, please.
Well, all I can say.
My fiver was on that.
All I can say is that they've been consistently inconsistent. Yeah.
Have a look at the left arm here. Oh well. Well, that's just the picture. I mean, really, this is what also frustrates me, David. You know, look at the picture. You're just not getting the picture that you really need to see. I mean, I think that was pretty clear as a press out, personally. And I'm not saying that just because the fiver's riding on it.
No, but that is part of it, isn't it?
No. I'm happy for the best man to win.
I can see repercussions about that press out. I can see you saying, well, technically.
Well, am I wrong?
No.
Did you think that was a press out?
I did. That's why I keep saying it's a silly rule, because nobody's got the guts to referee it properly. Well, we've got all kinds of problems in this. I mean, I really couldn't say who's going to win the medals here, even at this late stage in the competition.
Well,
it could be almost anybody.
Well, you know, as you said, the 380 that Rybakov's got is looking extremely good, because, you know, at the moment he's got 10 kilos advantage over Martirosyan. He's 18 kilos up on Kalancia. He's 15 kilos better than his teammate, who in any case is heavier than him. So, I mean, the only thing, David, is that on the evidence of what we've seen there, can he do any more than 200? And that maybe is the only question, which perhaps just inches the door open for someone. But somebody's going to have to produce something really brilliant. Somebody's going to...
If I was coaching him, I think the next weight would be 201.
Yeah. Now, I mean, we've seen our Yun, the Chinese lifter, coming at 197, not very convincing. You've got to say that the men in the weightlifting world who are watching this tonight with us, who are in this weight area, 85 kilos, there's a big opportunity, there's a big gap here in the market for an 85 kilo lifter.
As you said, there are no outstanding stars, but there are a lot of athletes doing good weights, but there's no one star in this class.
No.
You haven't got the Dimas's and the Hoosters at the moment, or even the Azanitsis. So this lift, if he gets it, he makes a total, puts him on 371 and puts him into the silver medal position.
Yeah.
So pretty crucial lift.
Yeah, this is something or nothing. We can't be sure what the something might be. Could be fourth. No.
I would think this is a medal.
No.
Well,
no way.
What a disaster.
No way.
Absolute disaster.
Complete miscalculation.
Well, they've been complaining about the time change. They've been complaining about the climate, and I have to say that we've seen a lot of people down on their normal weights on the clean and jerk in this competition.
Well,
Einmal in der Woche schlägt im Fußball die Stunde der Wahrheit.
Wenn er Erfolg hat, hat er einen wunderbaren Abgang.
Dropkick. 60 Minuten schnörkelloser Fußballtalk.
This has been well planned. So everybody knew about acclimatization. Everybody knew about jet lag.
Well,
everybody knew about the humidity.
You can do something about the jet lag, but you can't do much about the humidity unless you're going to go and live in Santo Domingo for 6 months before the championship.
Now this could be a medal.
Yes, 200. But unfortunately, as you said, he wasted that first attempt.
390.
Actually 201.
Yeah.
So this would put him.
If he stands still.
Silver medal position.
Stand still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done.
So that takes him to
373.
373 indeed.
But of course, because of that first failure, he's got no attempts left. He's run out of attempts now. So
yeah,
he's just got to sit back and he's got to hope that the 371 is enough to keep him in the silver medal position. 373 is enough to keep him in the silver medal position.
Yeah. Having said that, David, I doubt that he's got another 7 kilos in him anyway. Not on that evidence, but you know, he might just be good enough to get. Now here's Marty Rossian.
Yes, taking 202, which would put him on to 374.
Yeah.
So this will put him into the silver medal position and push the Russian down into 3rd place.
Apologies for the bizarre television direction. So that leaves him on 370. So there are 1 or 2 opportunities here. Georgi Markov, Kalancia, Kamachin,
even the Chinese,
Ayun, and of course Rybakov. So who's going where? Well, this is the way we thought it would unfold. We thought it would be a competition of the unexpected, but there've been some miscalculations. I just think, David, one of the interesting things about this sport compared to a lot of other sports is that a lot of sports team managers you know, make hotel arrangements, come out and they see the place well in advance. This is not one of them. Now 203, that's 8 kilos up for Staltsov, so this would put him on to 373 by my calculations.
And it would actually put him into the silver medal position because he's lighter than the Russian.
Come on, come on, come on! Good enough for me, and no press out there.
So your man goes into the silver medal position?
Absolutely.
But I'd just like to remind you that my man's still in the gold.
Yeah, very fortunately.
Very fortunate.
Very fortunately. I may yet have the moral victory. Those of you who think I've been robbed.
Yes, email me at...
Yeah, email us at question@weightlifting.de. Sorry, Leonard, we haven't got the Chiggy Chef information, but we'll try and to get that. It may be a little later. We'll try and get the official background. Now, what's Benny up to? Swedish president working up a sweat.
Well, obviously the communication between the warm-up room and this platform is not working properly, so he's running around and just
and you can just see, I mean, Benny's not, I mean, you know, Benny's not unfit, but you can just see just that short little movement from the back room to the front room, and he's puffing and blowing a bit. So that gives you an idea of the humidity, and you know, they're all struggling.
See, if he'd have been well organised, he'd have gone out there and done some running in humidity, wouldn't he? In a shirt, obviously.
Yeah. Kamachin, 203.
Yeah. Only managed to snatch on 160, so this is sort of clean and jerk honours, really.
361 total. You're absolutely right. 203.
No, this will be 263 if he gets it.
263, yes.
Heavy, sorry, 363, but it looks heavy. We'll get there in the end, David.
It's the heat. Well, more importantly, he's got there.
2:03, and he's actually weighed in slightly lighter than your man from Belarus. So an 84.85 as opposed to 84.86.
Yeah, but my man's got 373.
Yeah, but that clean and jerk puts him into the gold medal position on the clean and jerk. So although he was down on the snatch, he's obviously thinking about clean and jerk honours.
Right. Rybakov. 2:03.
And he's lighter than both of them, so if he succeeds with this, he'll
I grant you,
extend his lead, and he'll go into the lead on the.
Yeah, nobody's. If he gets this, then he's home free.
Let's hope he can do this without
the press out.
I don't like you having any victory, even if it's just a moral one. I won't sleep if he does.
Or feeling that your victory is hollow.
Exactly. That's better on the clean.
It was indeed.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. I wouldn't argue with that.
It's more like it. So he puts him on 383, and I would say
that's it.
I'd say that's an unassailable lead.
Yeah, well, I can't see Stoltz. I mean, if there's any sort of team rules there, they wouldn't even let Stoltzov go for another 10, 11 kilos to depose him. Well, I wouldn't have thought they would have done.
I'm not. I mean, obviously he's got the gold medal on the snatch, and he's got the gold medal on the total, but I'm not so sure he's got the gold on the clean and jerk yet. I think there's a few athletes still left in this competition that could go a bit further than 2:03. I'm slightly.
Hang on.
He's done this already.
Yeah.
They've sent him out. He's done this weight already.
I'm sure he's done 2:03.
He's done 2:03. This is.
Well, unless that.
Surely they're not making him do it again. I don't understand. I don't understand that. He's done 2:03.
Well, I was
convinced. And they've sent him out to do it again. Why is that? Did they give him a no lift? Surely they couldn't have given him a press out on that lift that he did. Well, I've got him down as having done 2:03.
Well, so have I.
This is where the replays would be good. Well, I really don't understand that.
Well, I could only concede my fiver, so now I'm a fiver up, and
yeah, but
I just don't understand that at all, unless we misread the fact that it was 2:03 on the bar. But
no, it was 2:03 on the bar. I'm beginning to wonder if there's a mistake being made here. You know how I don't like mistakes.
No, but it's very difficult to tell. The bar's going up now. 2:05.
2:05.
So this becomes a little bit more interesting. 8 kilos. This will take him to 368. This is playing catch up. 368, and he's still got a lift to come. And he weighed in at 84.60. Ediev is obviously the man he's after. Another 5 kilos after this, and he could get ahead of Ediev by virtue of lighter body weight. No. I'm afraid I think the television director's had a bit of tequila tonight, because he's obsessed with going in close and not actually staying out to show you the lift.
International football is back.
David, that Rybakov has not been great, but he's been good enough to see this lot off to get to a world title, but it's not a world title that too many people will remember. Yeah, it's not a performance, I should say, that too many people will remember.
But I'm still confused about your man.
Yeah, well, this is.
I wish we could actually see that again on the replay.
This is 205 for Calancia.
Yes.
So this would take him to 367. Yeah.
He's going to struggle with this. He didn't look good on the 200. He's going to really have to work to do this.
No.
Yeah, you see, he's not. You know, you're looking at a 215 man there, and really, I mean, that was dangerous. I mean, that's the sort of positioning that can twist a knee or dislocate a knee. I mean, just look at this. Well, if we weren't in so close, we could look at it. You might not be too far wrong with your tequila theory. There are free drinks, apparently.
None have come our way. Now, 205, well...
Clean and jerk glory.
Yeah, that's what this is about.
Markov's still waiting in the wings.
Rybakov's still got another one. Kamachin, the other Russian.
Yeah, Foucault's still to play. Now that's better now. No, just not there today. So finishes on 360.
It's quite interesting, isn't it, David? They've all, lifters and coaches, so many of them in this class, they almost misread this. They in a sense, they all read it as being wide open. You know, they all read it as, well, Rybakov with the snatch, he should build up a lead, we won't catch him, but the other medals are really all up for grabs. So they've all just slightly got the assessments wrong. Because if they'd just been slightly more conservative, one or two of them, their men would have been up there. Now, Calancia, 205?
205.
So this would take him to, what, 367?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really hasn't looked that convincing today.
No, I don't.
200 was very hard.
No,
it's just again, just not there.
Everybody's out of this, you know. Rybakov's a lucky boy because he's come up against, you know, an opposition who really aren't providing opposition. Yeah, I feel reasonably pleased with the way that my pick has done tonight as the junior world champion.
Well, I've got a feeling he's been
maybe diddled. Well, I just don't understand, you know, if you got, why I don't really side with, I know what you're saying, because we had this big argument about the fourth lift last year, if you remember, well, you know, debate, but the reality was, we were all sitting there in complete amazement, how can anybody have a fourth lift? And yet, it happened.
Well, you know how, we've said how it can happen. The trouble is you've got 5 jury members, you've got 3 referees, you've got you've got 2 technical officers. I actually went down and told the guy who was doing the scoreboard, though there was a fault, he said to me, it's impossible. It's impossible. I said, well, it isn't impossible because we have just watched it happen, and this is it. People are relying on other people instead of actually watching it for themselves.
First time since 1896.
What's that?
The fourth lift. That's this Kamachin prowling around. But for these guys, it is an opportunity for a bit of clean and jerk glory. Well, hey.
Yeah, I think this is I can see what he's done here. He's thought, let's just stick 210 and make everybody else have to take a really heavy weight. I just can't see any hope.
He's never lifted 210 in a clean and jerk, well, not in competition. Well, I'll be well respective of him if he does this.
I was going to say, I almost said that I'm not a betting man, but I've already said on air.
Yes.
So that would be a complete lie, wouldn't it?
It would. It'd be a fib. So Rybakov rests on 383.
Good enough tonight.
It's what I call a messy competition, this. Now, anybody can let, well, 211 for Kamaching. Now, right.
I think he missed. He obviously wasn't watching the competition. He must have known that 205 would have been enough.
Well, hang on a second. Down 211, so 8 kilos up. This will put him to 371. Does this put him in? What did he weigh? 84, 85.
Him into the
would it?
The bronze. Good effort though. I'll give him that.
Teddy F. Just saw there momentarily.
Shaking his head as if to say, you're not going to beat me. David Riggett in the background there in the red t-shirt. One of the great Russian lifters from yesteryear.
And that's it.